Ah. You know what? I hate that I do this every time. I said I wasn't going to this time, but I am probably now. Okay, so here's the deal. I have on way too much under eye concealer. Way too much. Way too much. Um, I did not. Okay, I didn't want to do this. This lighting is terrible. This everything is terrible. Oh, maybe it's the filter. Maybe it's not. Let's see. That's terrible. Like when I say I really don't want to do this, like I really don't want to do this. Now, I don't want to do it now. I did before. And then like I was all like pumped about doing another live stream. And then I got ready to do it and I was like, I don't want to do this because I just didn't want to. And then I looked at my under eye concealer and it was like, this is not a filter. This is actually how much, like I tried to blend it and it didn't really blend. So that was literally the reason I wasn't going to do one. I was like, this is stupid. The lighting's bad. I have way too much under eye concealer on. And I do. That is still a fact. But, so I was like, I had my phone set up and everything. So instead of doing a live stream, I was like, well, let me call my boyfriend and see what him and the dogs are up to. So I called him and immediately got like super, super sad. Because here's the thing. Yes, I miss my boyfriend. I see him like not every day, but few times a week. I see my dogs 2 times a week. I see them on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. I miss them very much. Oh my gosh, but this feeling in the pit of my stomach is because I miss my kids so much. Like I miss them so much that if I were to allow myself to truly feel the pain that I know I'm internalizing from missing them, I don't know, like, there's been times before that I've literally wondered if you could, like, die of a broken heart. And I'm sure you can. I had parakeets as a kid that died. Like, one of them died or flew away or, I don't know, like, and then the other one did. And I remember as a kid, like, my parents telling me that, like, it died, like, of sadness because it was, like, alone. So if a parakeet can, I'm sure I can, too. If I were to, really allow myself to feel like how much it hurts. And it does not ever get better. It never gets better. So what I started doing, I made a website, like a blog thing. And I made it, like, it's public. It's like anybody can like go to the website, but I don't like advertise it. The only person that knows about it is my boyfriend, and that's just in the off chance that anything I say the off chance, but I mean, things happen to people all the time. Like there's a good chance at some point in my life, inevitably it will come to an end, and in like if that, happens to be before my kids and I have any type of communication, I would want him to be able to pass that along to them. And so, what I would do is I would just write every day, and I would write like anything that I was feeling in regards to, like sometimes I wouldn't be able to even write anything because I would just be able to say like that I just miss them. Usually just like, I miss you so bad it hurts. Because it does, like it literally hurts. But then some days I would write like more, like kind of, put together thoughts. Maybe like something would happen that would remind me of, something that they used to eat or do or say as a kid, or like a good memory that I had of us, or like something that happened in my life today that reminded me of them, or kids that I like, teenage kids that would be about the same age as them that, that remind, just things like that. But I had a feeling like I would not be able to maintain it because it's just too hard. You know, it's too hard to do that, you know? And so I've been doing it since the beginning of this year, and it's not even February yet. And there were several days where I was like, I thought of, so there was like 3 or 4 songs that popped in my head on different, like on different occasions that maybe I've been doing it longer than January. Maybe I started in December, but anyway, I was like, so there's a Taylor Swift song called, Evermore. And, it just, like, I just copied and pasted the song lyrics and put it on the page because it reminds me of them. And so if you haven't heard that song, you should check it out. It's probably more of a love song. I know it's a love song, like intended to be, because it's her and a guy singing. So that makes sense. But she says, when I was shipwrecked, I thought of you, and in the cracks of life, I dreamed of you, and it was real enough to get me through. And I swear that you were there. And like so I just copied it and pasted it. And then there's another Taylor Swift song, I'm pretty sure from that same album, called This Is Me Trying, and it's more like it's relating to like someone struggling with being an alcoholic or being an addiction, you know, like you know, like This Is Me Trying, you know. And so I copied and pasted that one. And then the other day, my roommate was randomly like, I love Avril Lavigne, and I was like, there's a song that my daughter used to play all the time. She would play it on YouTube, and the video would be like of these Japanese cartoon characters, but they would be like really sad, you know. And it was called, I think the name of the song is I Miss You When You're Gone. That's what it's called, When You're Gone by Avril Lavigne. And so my roommate and I listened to it, and it was good for me to like, you know, like I said, like I just can't allow myself to feel those feelings for very long because it just will overcome me, you know, like it will consume me, and everything that I'm trying to do for them will be, you know, it would be like counterproductive, because I would, you know, I don't know. So like I was praying today, and I was thinking like, I was thinking, God, like, I can't believe I trust you so much. Like, I can't believe that I have faith that you're going to work all these things out, you know? And I was like, maybe I don't. Like, I know I have faith in God, and I know I trust God. But I was like, I don't know that I trust myself, because I'm wondering, like, do I really trust God? Or, like, am I just like complacent, or do I really just not care? Am I really not as good of a mother as I thought I was? Or maybe I don't love them as much as I thought I was. Like, I'm getting along with my life pretty easily, you know, but that's a lie. That's a lie. The only reason I'm getting through life at all is because God has given me the strength to. And I know that the only reason he's given me the strength to is because there is an end to this. And it ends somehow, some way, with everything being okay and working out ultimately for his glory, but for our family, for my children and I to be reconciled. And so, but I was like, God, like, how do I trust you this much, you know? And I started thinking about all the times in my life that God carried me through things, and the way that he pulled me out of them, you know, like the way when I was in the depths of these things, and I know I said this the other day, but like, again, these were not all just, now, all of my pain and misery, I will say, I won't speak for anybody else, but me, all my pain and misery has in some way, somehow originated from sin. You know, so, and I'm not saying that like all the bad things that happened to me throughout my life are all like the really horrible, you know, things that I went through were like, it was all because I was, you know, in addiction. Like, that's not true. There was a good part of my life, actually, when I was a mother, that I was sober, you know, for the most part, you know. I mean, I didn't use drugs at all, but I was not living my life for God. I was not living my life like I am now, like I'm trying now, you know. And so, but I still was, you know, like the situations that I was in were of my own making. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's a lot easier for me to have compassion for myself, looking at, you know, the things that I went through that, like, because I really didn't deserve those things. Like, I really didn't deserve to be hurt the way that I was. And so when I was really, really needing God to get me out of it, like to save me, literally to save me, He never did when I wanted Him to. He never did when I needed Him to the most. And every time, the way that He pulled me out of it, the way He got me through it, the way that I was saved from all these situations, it was so beautiful. And it made me trust Him so much more. You know, it's like, I'm so glad that now, since having experienced that more than once, I'm so thankful that I know now. First of all that suffering was not for nothing. I remember how hard it was, and I remember how long I wanted God to pull me out of it. You know, like I wanted to be done with it. I wanted Him to rescue me. You know, like I know how, like I remember that. And then thinking about how it happened, that's how I'm okay now. That's how I'm able to face every day with this hurt that I feel. Because I know that I felt this way before. It may not have been because of the same reason. It wasn't for the same reason. It wasn't because I missed my kids. But it was because I was suffering tremendously. And I felt like this. I felt like it's even worse now because I'm like, I'm not even doing anything wrong, you know? Like, why are things not happening? That's what I would think that I would think. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that I would be like, God, where are you? Like, why have you abandoned me? Like, why are you not doing anything? But I'm not like that. And it's because I trust Him so much. And I know that in the past, when He got me out of things, the way things turned around in my life was so miraculous. And this is, like, those things don't even hold a candle to this. Like, He promises that He will bring justice to those He loves. And the injustice of a mother not being able to see, like, literally even speak to her kids for years. Like 8 years, 7, 8 years. Seven years. Like this month, like probably right, you know, like, yeah, like, yeah, like 7 years. like right now, like the end of January, like January 22nd, I think. And I've seen my kids since then. It's not like I've not seen them, but in the past several years, I have not even laid eyes on my children, much less speak to them. And to live in a world where that is reality, knowing how messed up that is, and to live in that world and face every day, there's no explanation for that besides God. There's no way that you could ever tell me that a person, like, everything that I've been told by so many people, that can't happen. They can't do that. He can't do that. They're, you know, the courts, the judge, the lawyers, the church, the child support, the my family, his family, the cops, the psychiatrist, the neighbors, like everybody. First of all, that said those things, this isn't gonna happen. That you know, all these things. He can't do that. They can't do that. And then them doing all those things and getting away with it. And it, as it stands today, that is the reality of the situation. And I have faith, total faith, that he's going to make all things right. The fact that I have no idea, no clue how he's going to do that lets me know it's going to be something really, really worth the wait. My children in itself are really, really worth the wait. The mother that I already was then, and then the mother and the person and the woman that I am now, I'm so proud to be the person that I've become. And the whole point of me doing this video was that I wanted to copy and paste it to the blog that I made for them. Because this is the closest that I've been able to come lately, besides copying and pasting song lyrics, to sharing my heart with a virtual piece of paper in hopes that one day, if God doesn't come through in the way that I think he's going to, if for some reason, in some scenario, my kids and I don't ever reconnect, I want them to know how much I love them. I want them to know that not only have I, I hope that they don't miss me the way I miss them. Because that makes me feel bad to think how bad I feel and to think that they could feel that bad. But I don't think they do, because I think that they're probably able to close that part of their heart off. Like I've tried to. I mean, I do. And it's not because I don't love them. It's because I love them so much that I have to keep going. And if I were to allow myself to feel the hurt and the pain of missing them, if I were to acknowledge the hole in my heart where they should be, and really sit in it for a very short period of time, I mean, I don't know what would happen, because it's not like I'm going to go back to the way I was before. It's not like I'm going to kill myself or anything. I have no other choice. I'm so thankful that God has put me in a position. Of course, I have other choices, but I don't know of any. My only choice and option is to trust God. And to me, that's the best option of all, because I know him. Like, I just know him, and I know that he sees me. I know that he sees everything I've been through. I know that he sees everything I've done, good and bad. I know he knows my heart. And he knows how much I hurt. And he knows how much I love him. And I know that everything that I'm feeling, he's felt on such a huge, like to such a degree more. Like how much he must hurt every time one of his children walks away from him. Or the devil snatches them from his, I mean, Jesus says they can't be plucked from his hand, but we do get yanked around by the devil sometimes, And so I know that has to hurt him so much. I know it does. And I don't know what my kids think right now, but I know that when we turn our backs on God, we willingly do it. We willingly do it. And I just know that has to hurt his heart so bad. And so, today I was just kind of like watching people. Like I've just been very much observing people today. And like not necessarily judging, if you will, I mean, I just was like observing people's behaviors. And I realized today, I don't know why this stuck out to me, but it seems like everybody was either giving or taking advice from everyone else. Like everywhere I went. And it's like everybody was just kind of like stuck in this like loop. And I just remember being like aware of that and immediately like looking to God. Like, you be my loop, Like, I don't need to ever tell anybody advice. I don't need to ever give anyone advice. Ever. I think the only two things and the most effective two things I can do with my life, and I should do with my life, is share my testimony and live a life that people can see God in me and want that. I think that when you are truly living your life for God, when you are truly filled with his love and his joy and his spirit, I think that something happens on such a energetic level. And I'm not trying to sound woo-woo. I really believe that. It's just, it flows out of you so much that there would be no reason for you to give advice or tell, teach or preach. I mean, I don't mean it like that, because I know people do that, and that's good. People need to. I don't need to. I shouldn't. That's not my calling. My calling is not getting on here and telling people anything. It's sharing myself, my heart, my testimony, my feelings, and allowing people to do with that what they will, if they even want to. And I would love for someone to say, I want what she has. And for that to be Jesus Christ living in me. But I don't want to tell people how they need to get in, how they need to, ask Jesus, what they need to do, how they need, all those things. I don't think that that's my calling. And I think that where we are, from what I can see, based on my observations, people are at a point where, yes, I saw everybody asking other people for advice all day today, but I don't think anybody wants it. I don't think people are at all in a position to, like, they don't want to listen. They don't want to be advised, even if it's very good counsel. Like, they're not, they're looking to, they're stuck. A lot of people, and maybe I'm one of those people. I definitely was like, God, like, if I'm seeing this in other people because it's something that's very much going on with me, please reveal that to me. I mean, it's likely, but also sometimes I see people struggling around me when I'm not struggling. Sometimes I feel like I go through these trials and just these, periods of like just going through I wouldn't even say a rut, like just struggling. And I always come out stronger on the other end. But then it seems like once I'm out up to the other side, and once I've kind of like, like steadied my feet a little bit, I look around and I see people struggling. And I thank God that, like, just being not, like, just being okay when people around you are not okay is like more than enough. It's just when God is involved, when God is the thing that not the thing, like when God is what is causing you to be steady in the midst of, like people that are like, kind of like in the moment, like not okay. He is enough to like counteract all the, like unsteadiness. And so if anything, I'm just glad that maybe my loop is just like a little bit like opposite, or like not like in the same, like I'm not really in sync with other people. I don't think I've ever really been in sync with other people, like in most things. But I think that it's good that, the only reason that I'm able to even see these things and be aware of them is because I'm not in my own stuff in the moment. I mean, I get it. I just cry my eyes out. Like, I'm just like, I am. But, to be at a place where where I even feel okay with allowing those emotions to kind of come to the surface, I know that that's because, God's kind of pulled me through like another valley. And, and this is just the process. I mean, so anyway, I just, I want to stay focused. I don't want to lose my focus. I don't want to get distracted with other things. I think that it's an important time. I feel like things are like, it's important right now. I think that we stay focused on God, on Him. And when I say Him, I mean like having a intimate relationship with Him. I think that it's, the only thing that is going to get us through any trials that, like, as a people, like as a whole, we may face, because there will come a day when we're going to see great tribulation, not just times are tough, or everybody or some people are going through it, but like in our lifetime, most likely we are going to see real tribulation, like probably on the global scale. And I don't want to be caught off balance when that happens. I don't want to be standing on shaky ground, you know, when things fall apart. So I don't live my life in fear. I don't, you know, like me deepening my relationship with God and trying to be more in his word and knowing the truth and praying and all those things, like that is my antidote to what would be fear of any future, you know, anything bad that could happen to me or come my way, you know. And again, like just knowing like he never forsakes his people. Like that's what Pastor Jay kept saying at church, or not kept saying, but he said at church yesterday. It's so true. It is so true. He just does not turn his back on his people. And that makes me, you know, like I don't want to say fearless, but kind of, as far as like the unknown in the future and any, you know, like it makes it where like my only, like I want to have a certain level of like preparedness and readiness for, you know, things that could happen, because there's a world that's not where I am. There's a world that they're not, and I'm not where I want to be. So I don't want to say it like that, but like if you are saved, then you're sitting in a pretty, you're like you're saved. But there's a world that's not. There's a world that's lost. And so, you know, it is our job to give to other people what was so freely given to us, and that's the gospel and you know, the salvation that can only come from Jesus Christ. And you know, because that is scary to think that, you know, even if God, even when, so I mean, I don't know, you know, if things were, if really bad things were to happen in the world, like I don't know, maybe the church will already be gone. But if they're here, it does scare me to think that, you know, I could have like the shield of God, you know, and then just watch people that don't, like, you know, be like, you know, face destruction, you know. I don't want that. I don't want anybody to, you know, to suffer unnecessarily. You know, we're always going to suffer, but like to suffer because you've rejected Jesus is like crazy to me. Like I don't know why anybody would. I mean, you know. So, all right, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to copy and paste this and put it on my blog post. So if Jackson and Bradley if anybody knows my kids and can like pass this along to them, like by all means, you know, if you know me or you know them or some way, something like, you know, if God, you know, God does things. So you never know. If you guys have any suggestions on things that I could do to maybe like, I don't know. Nobody ever responds to these things anyway. So I'm like, anyway. All right. Have a good night.